This is my dorm room. Oh my god, the walls are so bare. I'm moving out. Starting the road trip today. I'm so excited. I am sure it's going to be an amazing time. I've got a ton of ghost tours planned. When me and my buddies would do road trips, basically everybody would choose one thing that they could do or one thing they wanted to do. And my thing was always, oh, let's do a ghost tour. And so for this trip, I've just scheduled like non-stop ghost tours. Oh man, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great. Some nice hot soup in the middle of the storm. Bet those guys wish they were me. Okay, I had to get this on camera. I just started, but look at this. It's a rainbow. Just passed into the shop here. What is it? Some gas station. AM PM it's called. And it's funny, you know, the guy, he's like a barber. He's chatting with everybody coming in. And, you know, it feels like a video game where you're... You know, I'm a game developer. I see a lot of things as, you know, I think in terms of games sometimes, too. Ambulance people came in, you know, and there was some great banter. He says... The cashier, that is. Any cases in the area still? 0 cases still? The guy says, not as far as I know. He says, you know as much as we do, man. You see this blue shirt? That means they don't tell me shit. But it's spooky, man, you know? It's interesting. It's definitely the topic on everybody's mind. You know, when you like play a game or something and all the NPCs are talking about stuff that's like quest relevant, you know? That's kind of what it feels like. End of day 1. It is 2:37 a.m. I am very tired, but we made it here in this lovely apartment. All right, it's a new day. Calico. Ghost Town, Vegas, ghost tour, and then hopefully we get a few hours towards the Grand Canyon so we could do that early tomorrow morning. Early being like 11 a.m. So, let's get started. We really out here. Oh shit, I just sneezed. That's the corona right there. Here I am at the ghost town of Calico. But they're not letting me in, unfortunately. They said I gotta pop a U-turn because of the coronavirus.
Age is simply a matter of mind. If you don't mind, then my friend, it doesn't matter. So go on. Be carefree like a little baby.
Some roads here. These some roads. There's this crazy yellow thing on the horizon. I have no idea what that is. But look over there. Can you see those? Looks like there's solar panels, like for miles. Alright, it's about noon, and I am at Whiskey Pete's Casino. It's pretty cold. Unfortunately, the ghost town was closed because of the virus, but hopefully the IHOP that's inside of this casino is going to be open, and we could have some delicious pancakes for breakfast. Okay, quick recap. So, Vegas turned out to be a bit of a bummer because everything was closed, and my ghost tour, which I waited out for, I got there an hour early, and then I took a nap in the mall. Mall security guard came, kicked me out. I looked at my texts, and boom, the tour was canceled. So that really sucked. So I'm gonna ask for reimbursement today. Because it was like $30, and that's like half a tank of gas for me, which has also been a consideration because I've been filling up like 4 or 5 times a day. It's like a lot of money, so I'm just something I'm thinking about. And yeah, but thankfully today we're gonna do National Monument. Like we're doing outdoor stuff. We're doing the Grand Canyon and Monument Valley, and the government can't really close either of those. So we're gonna go. We're gonna see it because it's there and it's not going anywhere. Ending the night hopefully in a nice warm bed. So I actually slept in my car tonight at this truck stop I found. I think most of them are gone because they get up really early. It's around, it's 8 now. I got up at 6 and then I went back to bed until 7-ish because I was trying to really sleep, but it was just so damn cold. And now I've been warming up the car for quite a few minutes, but it's still so damn cold. And up in Telluride, California, where we're going, it's actually snowing, Zach said, so, or there is snow. So just a thought. So hopefully we get there and that's all good. I'll see you then. Is this thing on? I'm at my first stop here. I'm by a Subway. I don't know if you could see that. That's a Subway, 24 hours over there. And yeah, I was thinking I'd get a nice place to sit down. I brought an extra Tupperware from the dining hall. But when I got in there, they're not letting any people sit down because of the coronavirus. Hey, I just went to the Grand Canyon, and that was awesome. I had a great time. Wow, it's amazing. And now I'm heading over to the Monument Valley, which I am sure is just going to be just as amazing. Now, I am going to be spending the night at Zach's in Telluride of Colorado. However, this county is a little, he's saying it's a test case for the National Guard, because what they're actually going to do to this city is completely lock it down, preventing anybody from going in. However, I should be able to leave, so I'm allowed to go. However, I need to get in there by midnight tonight. If I don't make it, then they're not going to let me inside the city. Monument Valley. Unfortunately, the official road through the Navajo territory is closed, but you could still see in the background here these amazing monuments. It's crazy. It's 9 a.m. and we've been headed north, and boy, let me tell you, it is cold out here. It is cold, and it's snowing too. I don't know if you could tell. A little bit of snow. But we're going even further north, so it's only going to get worse. I've seen, when I'm driving on the highway, these huge snowmobiles. No, not snowmobiles, like the snow, I forget what you call them, but the ones that push the snow out of the way. Snow dozer. And, boy, they are foreboding, because I don't know how this little car is going to handle in a real thicket of snow.
My necklace must look real, she chattered, nervous. A guy at the train station today told me to put it away, or it would get stolen. Did you know coriander is only 5 rupees at a Calcutta market? I went to my friend's house for tea there earlier, then missed the bus. Good fresh coriander, better than we get here. Mother, said Manju quietly. Don't go. The cell phone rang again.
We're about 45 minutes from Telluride, Zach's house. As you can see, there is indeed snow. It's barreling towards us. The roads are icy and dangerous, and I keep getting passed by ambulances on my left-hand side. Very spooky stuff here. Hopefully I've made it into the county lines, but regardless, it's around 9 p.m., so if the city gets locked down at midnight, I'll be in. I arrived at Zach's place. He's telling me it's going to be as bad as World War II.
So the Spanish flu killed 50 million people. This is worse than the Spanish flu, and it's probably going to kill as many people and more globally. So the National Guard came in to supply emergency medical care when we need it, and also to help facilitate this test. And what they're going to do is lock the county down, and then they're going to test everyone in the county if you have the virus and if you have antibodies for the virus. And then 14 days later, they're going to test everyone again and see if the virus has spread within the community with these policies in place, where everything's locked down, all the restaurants closed, to see if it actually works. So we're the test case for the nation.
Hey, so it's been a very scary day. Monument Valley was closed, and then I started heading to Telluride, where Zach is. However, they've been shutting off this city. They've been locking it down, and Zach will tell you more about that in just a second. But on the way there, I kind of got into a little bit of an accident. The road was slick with ice, and I tried to stop when I was going around this curve. I lost a little bit of control, and the car just veered off into this thankfully giant pile of snow, and kind of went to the side, and then it popped up like that. I had a wheel off the ground, and then it thankfully righted itself into the middle of the road. So that was pretty scary, but I'm okay, and the car is not damaged. So, and then I made it here to Zach's place, and his mom's really afraid of the corona, which is fair. And so she basically said that, I can't stay in their house, but that they had this house that she was watching for a friend. They're going to let me stay in it, even if maybe the owner isn't cool with it. So I snuck into this guy's house. He has the penthouse suite in this, a complex. So I'm here, all alone, but it's nice. There's no hot water, but there is heated floor tiles. So I tried my best to do a little shower, but thankfully I'm here and I'm good, and I'm gonna get some sleep in a real bed tonight, which beats sleeping in my car last night.
Wow, this is so cool. Yoga.
Have you ever done yoga?
No, what is it?
It's different than normal yoga.
How so?
It's like to stretch your joints. And so you sit in a pose for 5-10 minutes.
That sounds really
and by the end,
tough.
It's so painful.
That's the museum?
Yeah.
This used to be the hospital, and now it's their museum. This town of Telluride used to be a mining town where there was gold and silver. But as the mining boom faded down, this town was destined to become a ghost town. However, because of the beautiful mountains, it was able to reinvent itself as a ski resort town. And now it has the best skiing in the USA.
Oh, yeah. Here is my ghost story in the mining town of Telluride, based on something that happened well over 130 years ago, and the miners lived in pretty terrible conditions, and they died sometimes. And here's a story of a house that was here, where someone died in the house during those mining towns. And then over the years, the town changed, it shrunk, and then became a ski resort. And then in the 70s, when people started moving back in to ski, someone moved into a house that a miner was murdered in. And one day he's in there, and he's like, oh, it doesn't matter, I just moved in. And a few nights later, there's a full moon, and he heard this really strange sound. Almost like a chanting sound. It was like it was like a chanting sound. It was outside. He's like, what the fuck is this? They couldn't figure it out. So the next night, he's sitting there, he's by the fireplace, and he hears the noise again. And he hears it loud and clear. Ee-ba-choo-ba-chow, and he's like freaking out. He's like, what the fuck? It's almost inside the house. And then suddenly, down the fireplace comes a head. And it starts singing to him. That's it.
Whoa!
Well, I mean, even if you had it right now, you wouldn't know until a few days. It takes a few days for the symptoms to come out.
Yeah.
That's what's kind of spooky about it. It's like in the World War Z. You know how they had the dogs? The dogs would check if the people were zombies because the humans couldn't tell.
We voted for the highest percentage in the country to legalize weed. And then we have 2,000 people in town. 2 months after we legalized, we had 7 pot shops. I don't remember how many we have now, but this is one of them.
Delilah. Retail cannabis. And is this another one? Green Dragon? Are they all next to each other? Ghost Town's about an hour away. Got about an hour of sunlight as well. Hopefully I get there to see it. Otherwise, it's a question of if I'm willing to stop. Probably not. I'm driving to... Can you see me? I'm driving right now to Gunnison. And this is the place that everybody told me to steer clear of. Apparently the virus is real bad out there. But that's the way that I gotta go if I'm gonna see this ghost town, St. Elmo. It's not like I want to meet anybody. I mean, they're just ghosts after all. I'm on an unpaved road in Colorado right now. Zach and his family advised I didn't go through Gunnison, but there's a ghost town that way that my dad found called St. Elmo. And I thought I might want to see it. I wanted to stop though because I saw that house over there in the middle of the prairie or field. I just wanted to know if that house reminded you of anything. It reminds me, it's like in the middle of nowhere, right? It reminds me of this house in the PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds in the middle of a field like this, where I went inside and I had a shotgun, and I climbed onto a shelf, and I waited there for someone to come inside for a very long time. And probably 10 minutes later, somebody did come inside, and I killed them in a house not unlike that one. We had a nap in the car. Now I just went to the Kentucky Fried Chicken. I'm having the sweet and tangy sauce. And my God, it's fantastic. I am now in St. Elmo, a real ghost town. Look at this building. The post office. Wow, it really lives up to his name as a ghost town as well. There's no one here. There's this car, but it's completely snowed in. All right, so we had some tough calls there, but now I'm in this awesome room from hotwire.com. And yeah, wow, I got caught in a bit of a snowstorm. It was a 2-hour drive from St. Elmo to where I am now, Colorado Springs. The first hour took about 2 hours, and then the second hour, I got out of the snow. It stopped snowing where I was at, so I could resume full speed, and I was able to finish the last hour in an hour. So all in all, a 2-hour drive in 3 hours, not too bad. It's midnight now, and I've got a very forgiving checkout time of noon, so I can sleep in, relax, and look forward to another day. Guess whose car got stuck in a blizzard. This kid driving an igloo over here. Well, we are about an hour into our fill the tire journey. But right now I thought we'd take a break and go visit this pawn shop over here. See what's going on. Okay, so I tried to fill up my tires over here. I actually put in the $1.50 whatever for the air, and I instantly realized I had made a mistake because the air machine doesn't give me a readout of what the PSI pressure is. So we made it to the ghost town. Wow, that lighting's really bad. So we made it to the ghost town, and it was so much fun to see this place. Definitely worth the trip. But here's the thing, I just got a text. And it says that there's a blizzard coming. And I can't read the news because I don't have actually cell signal out here. All I have is just, the headline, which was able to parse it through the SMS text message. So there's a blizzard coming to my location, which means I'm in a real bad spot. Because I'm in a ghost town and there's no one here. And this is one of those 10-minute roads that takes at least an hour to get out of here. So by the time I leave, there's no doubt in my mind that I'm going to have no visibility on the road. So I'm trying to get to Boulder, Colorado. And if I can get there, then hopefully I can find a hotel or something to stay at. Otherwise, I may need to hunker down in my sleeping bag and wait for somebody to dig me out, which would really not be good. In Minecraft where you load into a biome that's flat, that is literally what this is. I am in the Flatlands. It is a two-dimensional world. All right, check in. It's been a long 2 hours or 3 hours trying to get this tire fixed, but it's done. I got all the air filled up. Look at them in the distance. The bright lights, they flash. Isn't that crazy? What are they? Windmills, I reckon. They flash every few seconds. Very spooky.
My dad found this place. It looks like everything's a little bit blue, but it's not, okay? There's some issue with the filter. Now it's looking a little bit more like the color it really is. Wow. This is crazy. I wonder what this town was all about.
Spooky, man. It's real spooky. Wow, do you see that mountain up there? Little check-in. What day is it? Man, it's Friday, March 20th. And yesterday the food was pretty rough. I haven't been eating too well. I've been eating these fast food, basically. And yeah, that's not good. Hopefully I could get a better meal at some point. Right now I'm having this macaroni and cheese and chicken, which smells horrible, but hopefully it will make me feel full. Today I got a meeting with Vin, the technical director, TD, of Bethesda Dallas, and so hopefully we can, this is what we're looking at today, so hopefully we can reach an agreement on make a deal or something. Right now I'm leaning towards maybe I just do the Epic contract and then cycle back and then we have a different conversation. Because right now it doesn't seem like they're going in the direction that I want to go. What else is going on? Yeah, everybody's been ordered to pretty much stay at home. And, man, I'd love to, right? I really want to get home. I thought I was about halfway done. I was talking to my girlfriend or ex-girlfriend yesterday. And she was like, nope, Matthew, you're a third of the way there. So, and she was right. Hello, this brings us to a close. It is Friday now, perhaps my 4th or 5th day. And
Well, we didn't get too much ground, I think. Today was kind of just a day of travel, and albeit not a very good one, due to the tire trouble. I am parked currently not 1 hour from a monument of Kansas. It's a Coronado Castle, so I'm excited to visit that in the morning and see what beauty that has to offer. But beyond that, I don't know what we're going to be going to tomorrow, but hopefully there is some wonderful thing in Missouri worth visiting.
Here we are at Coronado Castle. This castle is in the middle of nowhere by virtue of the fact that it's in Kansas, but also because it's in the middle of nowhere. And this is the pooper. That's the house. That's the fire pit. And yeah, and here's the view. Wow, what a sight. That's crazy. This is a giant stirrup from a cowboy boot. I'm gonna head into this place as the cowboy wear. Thankfully, I came prepared. I got my cowboy shoes on, and I'm wearing the hat. And so let's see what they got inside. Okay, we are driving in EV mode, electric vehicle mode. That should not take any gas. Meanwhile, we are at empty pretty much. It's just a blinking dot right now, so I don't think we have any gas to use, even if that were the case. Okay, it was rough. It was really rough. I must have done like 15 minutes on empty, but we made it into this gas station, and guess what I bought myself? Little backup supply of gas, 2-gallon bucket here, which I'll just throw in the trunk. And here's the house. Isn't that crazy? And they got the other house over there. I didn't even see that one. That one's like, I think, the lesbian or transgender symbol. And then across the street right here, we got this giant GodHatesFags.com sign. I think that's just crazy, man. Isn't this just wild? There's just like some random street in like Kansas suburbia. I gave them a little donation as well. They got a donation box here, a little library over there, and then this is the house. I've just arrived at the church, and oh my god, look at this thing. It is crazy. This is for my car right now. It is huge. I don't even know what this place is. It cannot be a church. It's like way too big, and there's like conferences here. It's like, oh my gosh. Look at this hedge. The hedge is even carved in the same shape as the building. This like spiral thing. Isn't that cute? And yes, I realize the irony of coming here after going to the Equality House. There's a sign for the Westboro Baptist. It says that the coronavirus is basically you getting in trouble for your sins. That's what it's saying. So I think that's pretty wild. This is just kind of crazy, you know? We're in a scary situation here. Okay, I've run out of gas. I'm on E and it's flickering. And my main concern is these trucks behind me, because I know sometimes they have trouble stopping. Bought myself a belt, which I have since misplaced. But I also got this little thing for my parents. Just went to Sonic, had a great burger, but no sauces on it. They didn't give me ketchup packets or anything, which was kind of a disappointment. And then I bought this shake, which is literally just filled with ice cream with Reese's Pieces in it. And I've eaten about to here, so I've eaten this much, and that already feels like 3 scoops of ice cream. I can't do this. If I finish this thing, I'm gonna die. The next stop for us is going to be the Equality House. Pretty interesting story about a organization called the West Baptist Church, which I think is sort of a little discriminatory, anti-gay. And so what this person did was they painted their house a rainbow to represent gay equality. The Arch. Dun 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 dun. Look at that. Holy cow. Here we are in Habwandsee County, Alma City. This is where I got my gas. Saved my booty. These guys are driving a golf cart. That's fun. Hello, my fellow travelers. Gotta stay positive. Only a few days from home now. We're at Daniel Boone's house. I cannot show it to you too well because the front gate is locked, and so I can't go in. It's supposed to open at 11, but I have no idea if they're going to open given Corona and all that stuff. With that being said, I sure as hell am getting out of this car, walking my booty over there, and trying my best to get a good sight. All right, I'm not seeing anything too interesting here. There is a disposed Sonic cup. Somebody was having a little bit of a drink. Man, the Sonic cups are huge. When I had that shake, that was like insane. I could not finish that thing. It was way too much ice cream. I think that is, that's been a big concern on this trip. I haven't talked about it too much, but the food, man, it really sucks to only be eating like fast food. And it's not a product of the road trip necessarily. It's a product of all the restaurants being closed right now. And you know, I can't just go into my kitchen and like make myself a little pasta. I've got to go keep buying these burgers and like, you know, shit that's really not good for you. So, hey, what's up? I'm in the car now. It is 4:30 a.m. and we are in Missouri. We just moved from Kansas to Missouri. Funny enough, Kansas City is in Missouri, which sort of surprised me. I don't understand how that happened. This many days on the road will get to you. So I'm just trying to stay positive, keep trucking along, and listen to great literature along the way. I guess that means that I don't have to pay for my parking spot here in St. Louis under the arch. We're trying to find some food. All right, so here's a better look at the arch. Pretty crazy. It's so huge. It's kind of hard to even make sense of it. I've been calling up some food places in the area, but nobody's returning my calls, which is a little annoying.
On a plane and flew 3,000 miles to sit with me on a park bench across from my dorm.
All right, here we are looking for the dragon. Let me know if you see it. Oh my God, it's a burrito from Chris at the Docket. Hopefully it's very delicious. Wow, that mural wall was crazy long, definitely longer than a mile, maybe like 3 or 4 miles, because I was driving down it for like maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It was a long time. Wow, such amazing art too. So now we're actually going to be heading into Illinois, where our good friend from middle school, Jason Tropper, grew up. All right, so I was chatting with my aunt Maggie yesterday, and I told her about the trip, and she came up with a bunch of cool places for me to go. So I'm going based off her schedule now. She recommended the Boone House, and now I'm going to go check out the Gateway Arch, which is another hour eastward, another hour closer to my family. I'm actually a little bit scared to go next to the dragon, because it says on the sign here that the dragon breathes fire, and this seems to be a propane, you know, a propane distillery, and his mouth is kind of black with soot from fire. So this might be actually like a dragon that actually breathes fire. It says that if I go to the liquor store, they'll give me a token. Okay, disaster just struck. I dropped my grapes. Okay, they're all over, but thankfully, instead of the floor, they landed on my sleeping bag. It's stacked high because the reason is I'm about to take a nap, so I need to clear out that space right there so I can fully recline the chair. I'm in my sleeping bag in my car. All right, we're at the Indianapolis Children's Museum at 5 a.m. and we're looking for dinosaurs. So let me know if you see any. Oh my! She told me that I need to have my camera ready. Oh, look at that. That's cool. She said I need to have my camera ready because as soon as I drop it in, the show will begin. So I'm going to pop it in here, and then we're going to try to run back, see what's going on. Oh my God! It's breathing fire. That was fun. A ton of murals, graffiti done. on this wall here. I don't know if it goes for an actual mile. That'd be pretty cool though. That's like the Ready Player One guy. I like that. Oh, and look at that cool like comic book character. Man, my dad would love this. He's a big graffiti fan. It's currently 1:30 a.m., which means I've been at this gas station for about 7 hours, mostly sleeping. I've walked into the bathroom here like 3 times, but thankfully it's been somebody different working on each shift, so I don't think they're on to me yet. I bought a sandwich, some grapes, you saw that fiasco. Then I got this bucket of applesauce, which I've just been drinking. The beer king. I found a local person who was walking their kid. They explained to me that I just need to follow Highway 250 and showed me where that was on the map. So unfortunately we couldn't find it on the map because it's not on the map. But we're going to follow this highway and hopefully we can figure out where this location is. Here's a closer look. Holy cow. It's hard to convey the magnitude of this thing. It's crazy. On this trip I've seen a lot of monuments, you know, huge things like this giant dinosaur. And I've been thinking about it a lot because, you know, I make art as well. I make computer games. But there's something that you lose in the sense that it's only on a 3D screen, you know? And maybe VR like can address this to some degree. But there's just oh man, there's something magnificent and just astounding. It's something arresting, something, you know, wondrous about seeing something so large, IRL. I'm in the middle of nowhere right now. I know it's hard to see that, but this is like some really small town in the middle of the mountains. And it's so foggy up here. It's a lot like Far Harbor if you ever played the Fallout video game. You can't see them all, but you could see those two, right? Look at them looking right at me. Hello! Can you see them all? They're all just staring at me. There's got to be like 7 of them. Holy shit, guys. I literally just saw this. Do you see that? You keep in mind, I'm in the United States. I'm in like some weird-ass backcountry town in the middle of West Virginia. This is incredible. What the hell? It's a palace. What the heck? That's my car over there. I just climbed this hill. There's some sort of shrine here. And it says, help build this temple for Radha Gopinath. And I'll admit, I have no idea who that is. Am I the only one who's confused by all this? Oh shit, wait, I think I see someone over there. Let me go see if I can talk to them. Okay, I just talked with someone. His name was Varshana Shwamina. And he looked like this white guy, but he had like face paint. And he said that this is not a religion, but that Radha Gushta is the presiding deity. So it sounds kind of like a religion. He said it was more of a science. I am 99% sure that I've just walked into like some sort of cultist commune. So I read this sign that says they're closed because of COVID. But I noticed something a little bit different about this sign. It said that I should always chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Which I think I've heard of that before. I don't know what that is, but I think it is like a religion.
Okay, so, I wanted to talk for a second about death. On this trip, I've seen a lot of bodies on the side of the roadway. Things that have been killed by cars. You know, large squirrels and this big dog and deer. It's a lot of animals. At least 10 bodies I've seen. And sometimes they're dead in the road, you know. And your car, you know, bumps over them, and that's pretty disturbing. You know, I was driving through the desert, and there was a dog in the middle of the road. But this one, you know, it wasn't dead, but there was something wrong with it. It was kind of maybe limping or maybe just very tired, and it was standing in the middle of my lane. There's a 2-lane highway, and you know, there's a big dog, maybe 150 pounds, huge, and not a dog you'd have in your house. You know, it was wild, like maybe it was a wolf. Maybe that's fair to say. I think it was probably a wolf or a prairie dog. Like it wasn't a dog you'd have in your home. And, you know, I was fairly certain that, you know, if I hit this thing, it would die, but it would probably do a lot of damage to my car, too. But I didn't want to hit the dog, so I just kind of slowed down. There was no one around me, as far as I could see. The road just eclipsed into the distance. So I switched lanes, and I went around the dog. And similarly, you know, while you're driving, I don't think everybody feels this way. You know, it's kind of like when it was described to me, I don't know, there's this feeling of when you're at the top of the building, this like clawing desire inside you, maybe not you, but in me and many people I've talked to jump. And you know, when I'm driving sometimes, you know, I get the desire to kind of veer off the side of the cliff and die. Which I think that's related somehow, but I'm not exactly sure how, to the dog. To killing the dog. But, you know, I mean, in times like that, I just, you know, try to pull over and relax. That's all I got to say about that.
I'm currently in the middle of Moundsville, West Virginia, and I am very tired. I don't remember when I started driving, but it's about 2 p.m. now, or 1 p.m. now, which means I have 2 hours before my interview with 343. And we are looking for the temple of, you know, the palace of gold. And so Google Maps got us here. Now I'm going to have to search on the interwebs or ask around town and hopefully find a way to get to this place. Unfortunately, on the way here, I ran through a red light. I was looking over my shoulder to make a lane change. And then when I looked forward, boom, there was a traffic light on the middle of the highway. And I wasn't expecting it to be, you know, I hate how they do traffic lights on the highway. I hate it so much. And so I didn't expect there to be a traffic light on the highway. And so I looked forward and boom, it was yellow. And I didn't have enough time to stop when it was red. So it was red. You know, it didn't flick when I was going under it. It flicked maybe like, you know, a good second before I went under it. So definitely my bad. But thankfully nobody got hurt. And I don't know if, but maybe they got my picture and maybe I got to pay for that, but we'll see. I hate how they have the lights in the highway. They shouldn't do that. There should be a sign or something. I hate it. This is a grand view. Let's go up. This is unreal. It's like Versailles or something. Okay, I think I figured it out. So Prabhupada is supposed to be related to the Hare Krishna movement, which is, I think, a sect of Hinduism. I just noticed something down there. It looks like a giant statue. It's really hard to see from here, but I'm gonna go down and see if I can tell what that is. Oh, here it is, the grand entrance. I don't think I'll go any higher. That ladder is a little bit scary. I saw their flag too. I don't really know what this is. The symbol seems to be some sort of waiter. Like a person running, holding up a dish. Where am I? Oh my god, I just heard the history about how they killed somebody and now they have $10 million. This is crazy. Please include that also in the video. At 11 minutes on the video I took a screenshot of, that's with the guy who kicked me out. Okay, I drove down here. This is the guy who greeted me. Some sort of elephant. There's a lot of animals here. Guys, this place is just getting more interesting. What is that? I figured out it seems that they're people. This giant woman. Hey, so I've since left the temple, and I'm still in West Virginia, still on top of these mountains here. The plan is for me to get down from the mountains and find a hotel where I'm going to crash for the night. And I've got about 6 hours left of driving. It's currently around 4 p.m. or 3 p.m. here. So the plan is find a place to crash, good night, and then tomorrow we will finish off the journey. Here I am at Gettysburg with Abraham Lincoln and Mr. Rogers, and we are in front of the Masonic Temple, which is another cult. This guy received an award for having an excellent mustache. That's what it says here. Cubano sandwich from this place, Gettysburg Baking Company. I get the Cubano because I feel like I'm engaging in a history that I've kind of neglected. So this square was actually where a major battle was fought in Gettysburg during the Civil War. What happened was the Union forces were coming down from here, from the north, and then it was in this center square where the Confederates basically pushed them out. It looked like this at the time, so it was obviously a little bit less developed, but they fled down the street towards Cemetery Hill in that direction. So basically the way the statue works is Lincoln is showing Mr. Rogers here. He's pointing up there to where he stayed. This is the Wills house, and this is where Abraham Lincoln stayed the night before he gave his Gettysburg Address. So it's believed that he finished writing it in his room up there. Look at how small the disabled person is. It's like a disabled baby. Okay, well, a lot happened. So basically I was reading the sign, and then somebody came up to me and they were like, "Hey, have you taken lunch yet?" And I was like, no. And they were like, "Come, follow us." And so I was like, okay. And so I went into this temple with them, and you saw some of the footage from that, or maybe you're looking at it now. And basically they were serving some food that it was basically like pasta, but it had like a name in Indian, I guess. And so then I started eating my food, and then, this guy was like, "Hey, who are you?" And I was like, oh, I'm just a visitor. You know, I was being like really timid. And then he was like, well, we're not having any visitors because we're closed. And I was like, oh, sorry, I'll leave. And he's like, it's okay, you can finish your food. But, you know, they were like, get out of here. And then I finished reading the plaques. So, still a little confused with what's going on, but this seems to be a commune for a religion, not a cult. A commune for a religion called Ishka or Hare Krishna, which seems to be a sect of Hinduism, but they, in particular, worship cows. And they have a cow sanctuary here that used to have up to 600 cows, but now they only have 69 cows because the herd got smaller over like 40 years. And basically, I guess so they seem to worship cows, and there was something in the sign about how this guy had cow boyfriends. I don't know what that was about. I think it's probably a typo or something, but they've had that sign. I don't fully understand it, and there was only men here, and they all had face paint. I don't know if there is a gay thing about it, but it was very different and interesting. And, you know, they say that they actually have temples in, like, all the major cities. So, there's one in NYC, so maybe that's something to consider. Yeah, I don't know if there's much more to say. Just a very curious stop. Certainly different. And that's that. You'll notice this statue doesn't look like the others. That's because Oliver Howard was actually a cannon. They named the cannon Oliver to better empathize with their machinery. Look at the street lamps. That's so cool. It's Hershey chocolates. Isn't that fun? I like that. So during the battle, there was actually somebody who was not a soldier. He was an artist, and he was standing, I guess, over there, and he was able to sketch out this drawing during the battle where this arch is that arch there. Hershey Park right now. You might be able to see on the lawn there, it says, Welcome, Hershey. This grave is fresh. You can see there's no grass here, which means somebody recently came in or somebody recently went out. You can see that this is somebody named Robert. He died in 2019, so probably just recently put there, not a zombie or anything like that. Okay, the design of these signs is pretty bad. It's text, and it's explaining that the army is moving from this place to this place on this date. On this date, the day after, it's explaining, again, you know, where the movements are and at what locations there are skirmishes. But these plaques very clearly should have just been maps that show, you know, vectors with respect to where things are moving or where things took place. The fact that it's represented in text, it's like, unless I have some sort of conception of where Littlestown is and stuff like this, this is a terrible way to show this information. This is really not smart. Here we are in the grave. Here we are in Cemetery Hill. It was somewhere here that Lincoln gave his Gettysburg address after the battle when so many Union soldiers and Confederate soldiers died. Gettysburg has some of the best ghost tours in the entire country, perhaps even the world. However, I will admit that because of the coronavirus, I'm very sad I won't be able to engage in them. Oh, there might be a ghost right over there, actually. Oh no, it's just somebody working. Okay, so here we are at the battlefield of Gettysburg. Pretty crazy. There is a tombstone here. 3 people were killed, 10 casualties. I don't want to be offensive, but that just doesn't seem like a lot. 3 people killed. I feel like there's been car accidents that are worse than that. And like those were accidental. But there's really huge statues. I kind of want to climb up there and like sit behind him, you know? So when people are statued on horses, it's actually a code, and basically if all of the horse's feet are on the ground, that means that they fought in the battle. That's all that means. But if you see over there, that horse, it has its foot up So if one of the feet is up, then that means the person was wounded in the battle. All right, that store was closed too. So Hershey Park has amounted to a very long restroom stop. And we're just gonna keep on trucking. I'm in front of the Hershey Story. I understand this to be a sort of museum. Unfortunately, it is closed, so that's a bit of a bummer. Yeah, not a lot to do in Hershey during the virus, in case you were wondering. The hardest part about road tripping during a time when everything is closed is that it's really hard to find a bathroom. When typically you could go to McDonald's or Burger King or even the Hershey Museum for the bathroom, all this stuff is closed right now, so it's really hard, frankly. The only places I've been able to find bathrooms are gas stations, which are still open. That's part of the reason why I prefer driving at night, because if it's nighttime, you can kind of go pee wherever you need to. But in the daytime, everybody can see you, you know, so it's a little sketch. The city is pretty goddamn spooky. Not a lot of people out, pretty much no one, and I guess that's a factor of it being 5 a.m. and raining, but also the virus. It's like in those zombie movies where you see the person walking around and there's like nobody, you know? It's like nobody out here. It's just me and you. Okay, so I just woke up in the middle of nowhere. I just woke up and I had no idea how I got to where I was. I had been sleeping. I guess I pulled over at this rest stop, or this isn't even a rest stop. This is just like some random abandoned gas station. And I woke up and I didn't know what was going on. And so I needed to leave to go to the bathroom. And so I came and I walked over the street here to this dumpster. And there's like a little lake here and some woods. And I just started peeing. And I looked across the lake and I saw something move. And it was this large creature. It wasn't a bear, but it definitely, I think it was like it was either a wolf or like a jaguar, something like that. Like some sort of four-legged big animal. And I heard that like their eyes glow in the dark, but I didn't see any eyes. I just saw its form and it was just watching me. And so I just went to the bathroom and then I just slowly stepped back away and got back into my car. But it was really scary. I just went to the Promonti Bros, and they were not offering seating, but thankfully they let me use their bathroom. They didn't have anything chocolate, though. I wanted to have something chocolate since I'm in Hershey. And they said I should go to Philip Arthur's, which may be open. So we're going to go there and hopefully get something chocolate. Unfortunately, they were closed, but I did get to see this awesome outfit. I love that. So that's kind of a bummer, but hopefully we can find some chocolate another way. I've got some chocolate in the car, but it's not very good. And I don't know if it's Hershey, and frankly, Hershey's is not even the best chocolate, but probably not allowed to say that in this town. Look at all these crazy things that they have. This is such a successful brand with respect to merchandising. After a short nap and some food at a rest stop, I just took the next 4 hours and straight drove to my parents' house and I've now arrived. It's 8 p.m. on Monday. It's been about 1 week, the whole trip. I'm very excited to see my family now. So, wow, what an adventure. And the drivers of New York, like, the speed limits are very much a suggestion. I would say at a minimum they're going 10 miles per hour higher than the maximum listed than the speed limit. Driving next to those guys, pretty stressful stuff. But I made it through. And here we are, back home. This pile of things is everything I was able to fit into my car using the back seats, the shotgun seat, the trunk, and the spare tire section of the trunk. It was a lot of stuff. My parents put me in quarantine, so I'm not allowed to take off this mask until they're convinced I'm not infected.